Hi, twins. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. My name is Leigh, and today we're going to delve further into new love with you and your person, you and your soulmate, by taking a look at what's going to go on in your future together. Okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there is a link in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. So, overall energy for this week's reading is the Temperance card. So this is Sagittarius energy. It is talking about balance, okay? Between, balance in your life, balance between you and your new person. This can also speak of this connection being very healing, okay? Underneath that is the Knight of Wands. This is a fire sign or someone with a lot of fire in their chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is talking about, someone taking a risk, or I feel like both of you taking a risk to, step into this connection with each other, okay? And the reason why it is a risk is because there has been a lot of inner and outer conflict and competition in your love life, okay? You've had a lot of people, a lot of bad situations, a lot of negative when it's come to your love life, okay? And a lot of lies, a lot of deception, a lot of cheating, a lot of, all of the bad things that can happen. I feel like in a relationship, you've experienced all of those, and so has your person, okay? But you have communication coming, okay? You are manifesting this communication with the Eight of Wands, okay? It is going to require a decision on your part, okay? It's going to require you to rip off the blindfolds, to shine light on the situation, and for you to be honest about what it is you really want, what you're wanting to get out of the relationship, how you're expecting to treat the person, how you're expecting to be treated, all of those things, and for you to decide who is the person that you really want to have in your life, okay? And then with the World, you may be meeting this person online. This can talk about, you just overcoming certain challenges, personal challenges, you and this person doing this independent of the connection. So you can open up these new doors and opportunities to come into this connection together, okay? All right, yeah, for a lot of you, it did involve you having to walk away. Your person had to walk away from somebody too, had to walk away from situations and people that were no longer serving them. And, same for you. And then with the Tower card, this is what created the Tower, was the walking away and choosing yourself, you choosing yourself first and your person choosing themselves first, okay? But here's the Knight of Cups. It is talking about this person coming in, and you coming towards this person, both of you coming in with your heart on your sleeve, laying your cards out on the table, and both of you basically, being open and honest about your feelings and experiencing this love relationship in a way that you've never experienced it before, okay? All right, so we're going to start by clarifying the Temperance card. Let's go ahead and do that. Temperance. Okay, we gotta do this for your person as well. Temperance. Okay, both of you are mirroring each other because you both got the Release card. So this is both talking about you releasing things that no longer serve you. For your person, there's a lot of confusion, okay? A lot of confusion that, they've been going through in the past when it comes to their relationships. And I feel like that's one of the things that they're releasing. Let me see. Let me get something for you. Release. And for you, it's about you releasing what you need to release and refocusing on where you're trying to go. You go towards where you're headed and not what you're trying to avoid. Okay, let me say this. There's this story that I heard one time, and it was pretty interesting. And it talks about these people that were in a whitewater, they were going whitewater rafting, right? So at the beginning of you whitewater rafting, I've done it before, I don't know if you have or not. The guide tells you all about what you need to do, okay? Because you're going to get put into situations when you do that where Just like in relationships where you might get into a bit of trouble, or something might crop up that's not supposed to come up, or that you weren't expecting while you're rafting, just like in a relationship. And this person, the guide tells you, when that happens, you don't look like, say you're going in a direction in the raft that you don't want to go in, right? You don't continue to look at where you're going. You turn and look towards where you're trying to go. Okay. And I feel like that's what Spirit is talking about with this. Okay. Because if you continue to look where you don't want to go, that's where you're going to end up going. Okay. It's the same thing. Like I said, it may seem like a crazy parallel, but it's the truth. If you're wanting to go somewhere different, you're wanting your life to change, you wanting your love life to be different, you have to start to look at what you're wanting to happen in that love relationship, and not where you've been in the past. Because looking at the past, you're only supposed to be looking at the past, twins, when you are trying to heal. When you're trying to heal, learn the lessons and get rid of the baggage, that's when you're supposed to be looking at the past. But other than that, you got to let that shit go and look at where you're trying to go. If you're trying to have a long-term, stable, and committed relationship with a new person, that's what you need to focus on. And you need to start to tell yourself stories about that, okay? And that may sound crazy to you too, but think about it. We do it all the time. We talk about what we're going to do. Like, oh, when I get through doing this, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go watch TV, or I'm going to get up and do this, or I'm going to get up and do that. So if you can do that for mundane things, why can't you do that for the relationship that you want, for it to go the way you want it to? Because we're speaking what we're wanting to happen, right? And we don't even realize it. We say things. Think about it. I've said this in other readings, where you'll say something and then a few minutes later, the exact thing you said plays out in your 3D. And the reason why that happens is because you're in control of it all. Okay. But we've been conditioned to believe the opposite, that everything is just happening to us and we have no control over it. And that's not true. Okay. So Spirit is telling you, okay, this is about you releasing the things that are not serving you, letting that shit go. All right. And focusing on where you're wanting to go, because this is about the past, and we're letting that go to look towards the future, on where we're wanting to head towards. Okay. All right, here we go. So the first three cards we're going to take a look at represent what is your perspective on this connection with this new person. Okay. So we have the Moon, Cancer, and Pisces energy. We have the Three of Pentacles here. Okay. And then we have the Six of Cups. So this is talking about you realizing that this person, you had a past life connection with this person. This is also talking about you wanting union with this person. Okay. You're wanting to build, a stable, committed, long-term, relationship, what we just talked about a few minutes ago. All right. You're ready to compromise. You're ready to do the work, put the work in, do what is necessary, be a partner with your person in order to bring about the type of relationship you've always wanted. Okay. All right. With the Moon card, this can talk about, things, secrets. Okay. There may be things that, you've gone through, or just things that you've hidden about yourself. And I feel like you have done this in past relationships, and Spirit is telling you it's time to let this shit go. You have to come in being as open and as honest as possible with this new person, because if you're wanting that in return, you got to be willing to give it. Anything you want in this relationship, twins, anything you want from this person, you got to be representative of that yourself. You can't come into the relationship and want this person to be completely honest, but you picking and choosing what the fuck you want to tell them and what you don't want to tell them, because I'm going to keep it real with you, right? I love you. That's why I'm keeping it real with you. But I'm telling you, you got to be honest. You got to let this person know. You can't be afraid. Okay. You can't be afraid to let this person know who you really are, because it is about your authenticity. At the end of the day, you being authentically yourself, so you can be loved for who you truly are. Because a lot of you have lived this life, and I don't think for some of you that you've ever had somebody really and truly love you. I don't care what type of relationship it is. I don't care if it's romantic. I don't care if it's platonic. I don't even care if it's a family relationship. I feel like a lot of you haven't ever really had somebody see who you really are, understand who you really are, and love you because of it, or in spite of it, or whatever you wanna say. Okay, so I'm saying all of this to say that that's what this is about. You cannot be afraid to be who you are. I had somebody in the comments this past week, right? that was talking about there was that there's an age gap between them and their soulmate, and that they were afraid to let this person know that about the age gap because they didn't know how this person was going to respond. And I told them, I went to the comments and I told them, I said, I said, you need to tell them. I said, because if you want a relationship, excuse me, that's based on honesty, like we just talked about, these secrets, okay, these things we've been carrying around all our lives, because people have conditioned us to believe that, you know, we shouldn't be who we really are. We shouldn't let our freak flag fly. We shouldn't be weird. We shouldn't be whatever it is or whatever. Because, you know, I always tell y'all, I'm weird as fuck and I love it. I love it. I love it. And the older I get, the more I love my weirdness. And I love weirdness in other people as well, because I'm weird and I accept my weirdness. And so I love it when other people are weird as well. So you got to understand that you are who you are. It's not changing no time soon, okay? Except for the things you're healing and how you're trying to be the best person you can be. But there are innate things about you that are never going to change. Like me, I love the metaphysical. I love tarot cards. I'm a tarot card reader. And I'm probably going to be a tarot card reader until I close my eyes and take my last breath, because this is what I do. It's what I enjoy. There are other things that I love to do as well. But I know this is my shit here. This is my steez. This is what I do. So that's one of the first things I tell people. I'm like, okay, because like I remember that with the twin. When I told the twin, I was like, hey, I'm a tarot card reader. Do you have a problem with that? Because if they had a problem with it, I wouldn't have gave a fuck. I'd have been like, I'm still going to be a tarot card reader. You just ain't going to be here, because I have to be who I am, and I can't be afraid to be who I am and expect somebody to want to, you know, accept me. Because I have to accept myself if I'm wanting other people to accept me, just like you got to accept other people if you want them to accept you as well. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay. So your perspective on this connection is just about you wanting to come into union with this person. Like I said, you're wanting, you know, to build a quality relationship, and you're wanting to reunite with this person with whom you have soul recognition. Okay. Let's clarify. The moon. Okay. So the card that's clarifying the Six of Cups is, the answer is yes. Spirit is saying that, yes, this is about to happen. You're about to come into union with this person, okay, that you've had many past lives with, and you'll probably continue to have many past lives after this lifetime with them, okay? Then we've got, for the moon, we have the divine feminine card, and we have vibration. So this is Spirit saying, be proud of who you are. It doesn't matter. Like I said, what makes you weird and makes you unique, and it makes you special. You're unlike anybody else on this earth, and that's a beautiful thing. It's supposed to be like that. You're not supposed to be like everybody else, because if everybody was the same, there would be no fucking flavor in life. There would be none whatsoever. And so, like I said, be proud, embrace who you are. Like I said, don't be afraid to be who you truly are, because that's true love at the end of the day, to open yourself up and say, hey, this is me. You know, I might be afraid to show you these things, but I have to let you know who I truly am, because I tell y'all, that was the problem with the twin. They used to sit and be like, why does this person, you know, love me? I can't show them who I really am, because if I show them who I really am, they're not really gonna love me, you know, or they've been conditioned to think the same thing, that they can't be themselves because they're not gonna be loved for who they are. Okay, but this is a relationship where that's what's gonna happen. So you gotta open yourself up to this person and let them know who you are. Okay, and they're wanting to know who you are, and they're wanting to show you who they are. Okay. All right. So with the Three of Pentacles, okay, in order for this situation to play out the way you're wanting it to, you know, for the two of you to work together and build this connection, it's going to require forgiveness. You're going to have to forgive yourself for certain things. You're going to have to forgive the past relationships, including the twin, for certain things. And then it's also about just, you know, realizing that things happen. You learn certain things, you know, things just happen in your life. They are lessons. It may seem fucked up at the time that it happens, but you have to just take what you're supposed to take from it and let everything else go. Okay? All right. Okay, now we're moving on. 1 second. Okay, so the next placement we're going to take a look at represents how your partner, your soulmate, feels about the relationship. Okay? All right. Okay, so we have the Judgment card, Scorpio energy, High Priestess, Pisces energy, the Four of Swords here, okay? And then we have the Two of Pentacles. So, when it comes to your soulmate, okay, they see this as a second chance. Again, they're listening to their intuition, all right? They're going to let you see behind the veil. They're going to bring their veil down here with this High Priestess card and let you see what's really going on with them in their lives. Okay, they're using this time with the Four of Swords. I told you this is like the mini hermit for me. They're using this time to, you know, get themselves together. But whatever storms they've weathered, trust me, you're going to hear all about them because they're going to open themselves up to you. And then with the Two of Pentacles, this is about, you know, the end to the juggling. This person doesn't want to be in, you know, multiple relationships or be out there with a whole bunch of people, you know, third party, all this shit. They don't want all this shit. They want you to make your decision. That's why this Two of Pentacles is here. They want you to not juggle. And what I mean by that is they know that there's this other person. They can feel this other person in your energy, just like the other person can feel them in your energy. And so they're wanting you to make your choice. Okay. It's like the, what is it? The Saw movie, that little thing riding the bike, Jigsaw or whatever. And it's like, you know, whatever, make your choice. I don't know. It always says make your choice. But anyway, this, you know, Two of Pentacles card is about the decision that you're going to have to make. Okay. And it's like I said, for a lot of you, it's an easy decision. But for some of you, you may still be on the fence about it, trying to figure out what's best for you. And what is best for you is the person that treats you the best, the person that puts you first, the person that, you know, sees you for who you are, the person you can relax with, you can be comfortable with, that the one that takes care of you, the one that wants to see you shine, that wants to see you, you know, excel, that wants to see you be happy and be successful and all those things. That's the type of person that you need to choose. Okay. All right. So let's clarify. Judgment and High Priestess. Okay. Okay, your person could be on vacation. This could talk about, you know, this could also talk about needing a rest because we got the Four of Swords showing up here. All right. You and this person could be at a distance with the world travel distance card. But this situation for your person is that, you know, it's creating a lot of illumination for them. They're learning a lot of things about themselves, about you, about the connection. And they are embracing this change because it's something that they really, really want. Okay. All right. Let me get these cards. Let's see the Moon, the Three of Pentacles, and Six of Cups. All of these. This one. Okay, so this is going to be a connection of comfortability. It says this kind of connection, this is the kind of connection that doesn't require performing. You can be messy, quiet, soft, or strong and still feel accepted. Okay, I feel like a lot of you have never had this. You don't know what this is like to be like this. Okay, but it starts with you feeling this way about yourself first, so you can bring it through into a relationship with someone else. Okay, this is the second line, Spirit, for that person. Okay, when it comes to your person's, the what we just talked about, your person's placement, excuse me, we have aligned future. It says the connection feels solid because you're both facing the same direction. This is a partnership with purpose, okay? Like I told you, you know, you may actually have a family. You may build a business together. it's going to be a lot of different things. You may travel the world together with this person, but I feel like you're both going to want the same things when it comes to being together. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next questions. Okay. Now we're going to talk about what your soulmate's intentions are. Okay. So we've got the Knight of Swords, air sign is someone with a lot of air in their chart, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. We've got the Ten of Swords here. It came out reversed. And then we have the Justice card, Libra energy. So I feel like what your person's intentions are, they're going to come in, want to sweep you off your feet, okay? And they're going to come in out of nowhere, all right? You can check the comments of the videos every week that I put down. People always tell you how they meet their person. It's like they just showed up. I didn't, I wasn't expecting them, this and this and that. Person just came out of nowhere, okay? But this person is going to sweep you off your feet. You're going to know that this person, even if you have more than one person coming at you, all right? Let me say this. There were other people in the comments this week that were saying that the person that they dealt with was trying to, I guess, extort money from them or whatever. Let me say this. Because I'm telling you that Spirit is saying that someone is coming into your life, please use your discernment. Don't just take the first person that comes in at face value without doing your due diligence, okay? Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to what Spirit is telling you, because I've told y'all in the past, okay, that there are going to be, some of you are going to have more than one other person. It's not going to just be the twin and the soulmate. For some of you, it's going to be other people that are going to come into your life, because Spirit loves to test us. And sometimes there are going to be people coming in to see if you've learned your lessons about dignity and knowing, what you should accept and what you shouldn't accept in the way of treatment. Okay. So if somebody comes into your life, don't assume the first person that comes into your life is your soulmate. Don't assume that. Like I said, listen to your intuition, listen to Spirit, do your due diligence. All right. I'm repeating that because some of y'all need to hear what I'm saying. Okay. And then don't be coming to me in the comments because you didn't do your due diligence and you want to come in the comments and say it's my fault. How is it my fault that you choose somebody and you don't listen to everything I tell you? You can't just come into these reads and listen to fucking 2 minutes and think you're going to fucking know what's going on. Okay? I got to get on to y'all because I think that's so fucked up. You listening to what Spirit is saying, but you catching parts of it, or you only hearing what the fuck you want to hear. And then you go out and you make fucked up decisions, and then you want to turn around and come back and scream at me and say that I'm a liar or I'm this and I'm that. And I'm like, hell, fuck no, I'm not. I'm not. That's one thing I would never sit this table and read these cards to y'all if I didn't 100% believe everything that Spirit is saying. And like I told you, you keep forgetting. I read my own cards through Spirit. And so I've sat, like I told you, many times, these reads that I do, before I even read for y'all, I'll do them for myself to see how they come out. And like I said, Spirit be on it. Sometimes it might be days or weeks before the shit happen, but it always ends up happening. And so what I'm saying all of this to say, you are a human being, you're an adult, okay? You're an intelligent adult. And so you have to make your own decisions, and you can't get mad because something don't play out the way you want it to play out, the way it's, the way you think it's supposed to play out or whatever. Because sometimes there's curveballs, sometimes there's all kinds of things. And then what you got to understand is this is not a personal read. I'm not reading one person. So just because a lot of the stuff that you hear resonates with you, it doesn't necessarily mean that is your motherfucking read. Okay, or that everything that I say is going to be your reading. Just like those of you where I can tell you 10 things, 9 of them resonate, 1 of them doesn't, and then you want to negate the whole read. There's still messages in the read for you if things are resonating. But what you got to understand is at the end of the day, you still got to go out and live your life. You got to make your own decisions, and whatever decisions you make, that's on you. That's why it says if you read the fine print in the description box, it tells you this is for entertainment only. Because at the end of the day, you have to make your decision. It has nothing to do with me. I'm telling you what Spirit is saying. And then whoever comes to you in your life, I didn't make them come. I'm telling you what I'm being told. I'm giving you the information, but don't come at me being disrespectful, because I'm not about the fucking bullshit. So you better understand it. You better fucking understand who you dealing with. Okay? Because Spirit been telling me to say something to y'all. And so now I'm saying it. I'm saying it so all the signs can hear it. That's why I'm doing it in the twin flame read. Okay? For those of you that understand what I'm saying, this is not your message. It's for those of you who want to come in here, you don't know who I am, and you listen to two minutes of a fucking read, and then you go out and live your life. You make bad decisions, and then you want to come back and say it's me and say that I'm a fraud and I'm this and I'm that. Bullshit. If I was a fucking fraud, then why do all of the damn comments say that 9 times out of 10, the majority of the damn comments, 95% of the comments are telling you that what Spirit is saying is coming true? So I'm letting y'all know, you about to find out. You about to fuck around and find out why they say the shit they say about Scorpios, because I'm not the one. So let's move on with the read. But like I said, don't come with that bullshit, because I'm telling you, you got one shot, and when you shoot it, your ass is gone. You don't get a fucking second chance on my channel with the bullshit, because I'm not gonna have a comment section where people feel where they feel like other people are being hostile and all this. We're not having that. But like I said, but if you step on my toes, you're going to get your step back on. Okay? Know that. All right, let's move on. So, like I said, Knight of Swords, Ten of Swords, and then we got the Justice card. Okay? Ten of Swords reversed. So, your person's intentions are to come in and, blow your socks off. Like a knight in shining armor, sweep you off your feet. Okay? They're putting an end to these relationships where both of you have felt defeated, where you've both felt cheated on, mistreated, all these things, all of the trauma. They want to put an end to that, and they want balance. They want the both of you to get your karma when it comes to justice. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's clarify. Okay, so this is about, combating fear, because you're going to be afraid. You're going to be nervous, because this is not something you've ever stepped into before. Okay. And I feel like the same thing for your person. The two of you don't know what it's like to be in a relationship where you get treated properly by a person. Okay. So this is about letting go of pride and ego, surrendering to the situation, and to stop the withholding. You have to be open and honest about how you feel. You have to do that if you want this connection to work. Okay. That's why I tell you, go slow. Don't get the first person and then just jump in with both feet without you checking out the person and seeing what the hell is going on. Okay. Like I said, if you feel safe, you feel relaxed, I get, move forward, but move forward at a snail's pace. Cause I keep telling y'all, one of the main red flags that a lot of you have, and this used to be me too, okay, because I'm not just talking to y'all, is the fact that you want to go fast. Maybe it's been a long time since you've been in a connection with somebody, or, you feeling like you feeling the feels and you want to feel more of the feels. You don't want the feeling to go away. I don't know what it exactly is for everybody, because this is a collective reading. But what you got to understand is that you can't be rushing, because the rushing, that's the kiss of death is what I'm hearing. The kiss of death, especially in this connection, because both of you have been hurt. Both of you have been traumatized, and that's just not going to work in this situation. So you just going to have to take your time. Okay. And so if you got somebody out there, those of you that's talking about in the comments, somebody scamming you, trying to scam you for money and all that, okay, then don't deal with them. Don't deal with them, because I'm telling you this. I'm telling y'all this, twins. If you want to find out somebody's motives, just sit and watch. Don't rush. Just let them do their thing, and you do your thing, and just watch their asses. Because if they got ulterior motives, or they trying to get something out of you, it will eventually come to the surface. Okay? Because if you're wearing a mask, you can only wear the mask for so long. Let me say it like that. You can only wear it for so long. So knowing that, like I told y'all, I've told y'all this many times, don't be rushing into no connection with nobody, okay? Because it's dangerous out here anyway, okay? Because if you rushing into a connection, you gotta think about You know, if you're having sex with somebody, you don't know who this person is out here having sex with, or if they protecting themselves, or if they doing this or doing that. You have to really get to know somebody when it comes to a relationship. And just because they make you feel good in the moment, you still need to do your due diligence. All right? You are an adult. You can make your own decisions, but you still need to take your time. Okay? All right. Let's move on. This card, please. So we've got blocked passion. It says when passion is blocked, it usually reflects something deeper. It's time to look beneath the surface and ask what's not being expressed. So this is gonna be a result of withholding. If you withhold, it affects everything. It don't just affect the, you know, the connection, and I mean, it's not just about, how can I explain it? It's like if you are not being honest with how you feel, it's going to affect everything in the connection. Okay, it's going to affect the level of trust. It's going to affect the passion. It's going to affect a lot of things, because this is about you being open and honest. But like I said, not going fast. I'm not telling you to do 100 miles an hour. You know, because some of you, like I said, some of y'all are champing at the bit wanting to be with this person. Now, I get it. I understand it 100%. But you still got to take your time to get to know them. You got to make sure that this is the person that you're supposed to be with, and then take your time to get to know them after that. Don't be rushing. Don't be rushing. Okay? All right. Next, the next placement we're going to talk about is, what is the short-term outcome for this connection? Long term. Okay. So when it comes to the short-term outcome for the connection, we've got the King of Swords showing up here. This is an air sign or someone with a lot of air in their chart, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This card's been coming up a lot. Your person may work in the government. They may be military or, you know, ex-military. This is someone, like I told you, this is a boss. This could be a CEO, somebody that has their own business or runs their own business. They could have several businesses, okay? This is somebody who is very busy. But with the King of Swords, the thing about the King of Swords is that this person is very independent. And I feel like that's what's up with your person. They're very independent. They don't open up and let everybody in. This is somebody with whom it's not just about emotion for them. You have to like, they have to be attracted to you mentally as well. They have to be attracted to you on all the levels. It's not just emotionally or sexually. Okay. It's got to be, you know, it's got to be mental, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all those things. That's the type of person this is. And this is somebody with whom if you can't hold their attention, they be gone. Okay. And I don't feel like, I'm not telling you that to scare you. I'm just telling you the type of person this is. This is somebody who can pick and choose who they want to be with. I tell you that all the time. The Seven of Cups comes up, that they have a lot of options. I feel like it's the same way for you. But I'm trying to explain this person's personality to you, so you can get, you know, get what I'm saying. This is high quality. It's a high level person, and just like you're high quality and you're high level, especially if you're doing your work, okay? Because you can't come in and limping into this connection, you know, with a bruised ego, and you upset and you bitter and you jaded and think this shit is gonna work, because it's not. I'm telling you, it's gonna blow up in your fucking face. That's why Spirit keeps telling you to heal. But with this King of Swords, the short-term future is that you and this person are going to enter this connection as sovereign beings. You're going to be independent, okay? Standing in your own power. Your person's going to be independent, standing in their own power. And it's about the both of you coming together and forming like a power couple, basically, okay? All right. Let me clarify. Okay. White is Spirit. Okay. One of the both of you may have gone through a divorce. Okay, some type of sadness and loss. You may have also had a death in the family. I've heard in the comments that you know, that was true for a lot of people. Okay, not a lot of people, but a few people in the comments. Okay, all right. Then we've got for you on your side, that was on your person's side. When it comes to you, this is again about you purging. You got to purge to get to this level. Okay. You got to let go of things to get to this level. It's not just a thing of, oh, well, I'll go into the connection and I'll work on it then. It's too fucking late then. You need to be working towards who you need to be before you get there. That's why for the long-term outcome of this partnership, hold on, let me do this first. I want to get one of these cards first. King of Swords, the Purge, Divorce. Okay. Yeah. See, this is about emotional safety. It says you don't have to walk on eggshells or hide your feelings or second guess yourself. This connection holds you with care. So this is going to be somebody who is going to make you feel, I tell you that, going to have the safe space for you and make you feel emotionally safe. Okay. I feel like a safe in all areas, not just emotionally, but that's the card that's coming up. Okay. So when it comes to the long-term outcome of the partnership, we have the Hermit card. Okay. This is Virgo energy. And it is talking about healing, that this connection is going to be healing for both of you. Okay. It's about both of you using this energy, leaning on each other to get through, like I tell you, the residue of what has happened. Okay. You need to be at a certain level before you get into this connection with this person. And I feel like for a lot of you where this person hadn't shown up yet, it's because they got to be at a certain level and so do you. And I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you, it's going to save you a lot of grief and a lot of worry and a lot of unnecessary, disagreements and all this kind of stuff. Because this is not going to be no connection where you and this person are butting heads all the time or breaking up and getting back together and breaking up again. It's not that type of relationship. And so in order for it to not be that, you have to present in a certain way, and so does your person. Okay? All right, let's clarify. Yeah, see there on your person's side, there are some unhealthy patterns that need to be dealt with. That could be, that's dragging it down. I'm not dragging it down, but slowing down you two coming together. And then you got to deal with fear. If you are afraid of being in this connection with this person, you got to look at your stuff. Because like I said, I keep using myself an example because that's what I got to use because that's what I know. So for me, in the beginning, when I hadn't healed myself, yeah, I was fucking scared. I was scared to death to be in something with this new person. Okay. But as I've healed myself, this has gone away. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're afraid like this, I'm telling you, it's levels. So if it's just some, just a little residual nervousness, that's understandable. You're going to be nervous with somebody that you first getting together with and stuff like that. That's normal. But I'm talking about anxiety, overwhelm, you're hyperventilating, that level, panic attack, that level, you got some healing to do, boo, because you shouldn't be coming out like that in a relationship. That means it's a lot of shit you haven't healed and you need to go back and look at that. Okay. All right. Hold on. I don't want to use this. I want to use this. Okay, yeah, but this is going to be a connection where you and this person are going to still be standing. It says you didn't let hard times become a breaking point. This is a love that deepens with every test. So you're going to be tested. There are going to be things that happen, but it's going to strengthen this connection and it's going to make you and this person get closer to each other and make the relationship indestructible, I feel like. Okay, because like I said, this person, you and this person have the potential to be life partners if that's what you're wanting. All right. Okay. So let's get some messages from Spirit. Like I said, sorry for those of you who that message wasn't for you. Sorry. But some of y'all, I got to let y'all know. You messing with the wrong one. You are messing with the wrong one. Don't come in my comments with the BS. Okay. So we've got clear the path is what Spirit is saying. It says, embrace the journey ahead with an open heart, ready to discover and grow from the revelations to come. Okay? Hold on. Then we've got free to move. It says, embrace your liberty to explore new paths. The world is wide open for your journey. All right? Let me get one more. Okay, this fell like this. It fell like this. And when it falls like this, it's both sides. So we got Fantasy Island. Make sure everyone involved is being realistic and on the same page. That's why I tell you, have that talk with your person and make sure that you let them know what it is you need in the connection, and they let you know what it is they need, because everybody, you know, likes to be loved in different ways. And that's why that love languages, you know, you hear about that all the time about people's love languages. And it's true. It is true, because like, for instance, let me give you an example. With me, one of my love languages, my number one love language is quality time. Okay, if you don't spend, if I feel like you don't want to spend no time with me, I don't fucking feel loved. Houston, you gonna have a problem with me if you don't spend time with me. So that's why I tell you, one of my things, the number one thing for me is, if you're gonna be here, you need to be here. I don't care if you're a friend. I don't care if it's a platonic relationship. I don't care if we, you know, it's family member. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's romantic. If you're going to be here, you need to be here. If you don't spend no time with me, I feel unloved. So you need, it will behoove you to figure out what your love language is, so you know how you want to be loved. Because you got to, this is about you understanding yourself, twins. So you can explain this to this person, so they'll understand what's going on. Because a lot of times that's what it is. Like, for instance, with my dad, he's an acts of service person. A lot of times people will love you the way they want to be loved. So he's somebody that he'll do stuff for you. If you need something done, all you got to do is call him, and he'd be like, what you want me to do? What you need me to do? Whatever. That's the type of person he is. But me, you know, I'm quality time. So I spend time with the people that, you know, I love, because, you know, that's just normal. Because you're going to learn how to, you're going to want to love people the way you know how to love. But learning the love language is about learning what yours are and learning what your person's are as well. So that if they need words of affirmation, hold on, or they like affection, or they like gifts, or they like whatever, you know that, and you can show up in the way that they need you to show up. Because that's what this is about. This is about both of you getting your needs met, not just one person. Okay. Which I feel like has been the past. In the past, it's just been the other people you were in a connection with getting their needs met, because you doing, you know, you going above and beyond and doing whatever's necessary in order to meet their needs, but then your needs aren't getting met. Okay. All right. So then we've got no illusions. Okay. The other side of the card is saying, stay grounded in truth, embracing reality with clarity and wisdom to navigate life's journeys authentically. Okay. We talk about this all the time. Your person, there's some type of unhealthy patterns this person has, and they realize that they have them, because they're coming up in this read. And, you know, withholding may be one of them. It could be some type of, you see it says addiction on here. It could be some type of something that they're dealing with, smoking, drinking, some type of substance. It could be anything. Because like I told you, nobody is perfect. That's why this no illusions card is coming up. Spirit is saying you got to be honest, and you got to understand that you can't be expecting somebody else to come in and be perfect, because you ain't fucking perfect. That's what Spirit is basically telling you. Okay. All right. So let's get some messages from your person before I let you go. Okay. So we've got, you don't realize how perfect you are to me. Everything reminds me of you. I am grateful that you came into my life. You're my everything. Okay. And it says, I keep dreaming about us together. Let me get one of these. Okay. It says best self. It says, I want to be my best self for you. I'm working really hard to level up for you and to meet you as your equal, your mirror. I know we will always grow together, but I want you to be proud of who I am today. Okay. This person is proud of you, and they want you to be proud of them as well. Then we have divine timing. It says, we are on the journey and the divine dance on the soul plane. It will manifest into the physical world in perfect divine timing. All we have to do is trust and have faith that all will work out beautifully. Okay. All right. Like I said, for a lot of you, this is about you learning how to believe in yourself, believe in spirit, and understand that, you know, even when you manifesting, you can't control when things are going to show up. They're going to show up when it's time for them to show up, when you're ready. Okay. Because a lot of times if they show up before then, you're going to mess it up. And like I told you, spirit can see all of these things. Okay. When it comes to your person, I'm working hard on my finances for you, for us, for our future. All right. You're the only one who gets me without me saying anything. Then we have, I remember the first day we met like it was yesterday. Like I told you, this person's going to remember all the, you know how you see TV shows and the whether it's male, well, it's usually the guy that forgets the anniversary or forgets the wife's birthday or forgets whatever. Like I said, guys make it fit. And in this situation, this person's going to remember everything. They're going to like remember this is the first day we kissed each other, the first day I looked at you, all this kind of stuff. So it says, I feel like I've known you all my life, yet you are so mysterious. Then we also have, you make me feel like a kid again. Okay. All right. So, all right, let's get the Lover's Oracle, and we're going to get another message from Spirit before I let you go. So we have this one. It says, when you pass from this world, take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Then it says, okay, power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. That's what Spirit is saying. So if something doesn't seem right to you, let it go. Let it go, because you got to realize people that are trying to get something from you and they have ulterior motives. They don't have positive motives behind them. They going to try to make you believe whatever they want you to believe. But it's up to you to have your discernment and to, you know, really look at what's going on and see what's going on with this person. Because I told you, people can only wear the mask. Even you can only wear it for so long. I'm not saying that you're wearing one. I'm saying in the past you have, because people haven't accepted you for who you were. But you can only wear it for so long. It's exhausting. It's tiring to do that, to not be who you really are. Okay. Even if you're trying to get something, I would imagine that, you know. So then the last card we have here, it says transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Okay. All right, twins. I hope this helped. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. Please have a good day and a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.